Baltini, do you have Spanish relatives? That's the question I'd like to know this morning. How's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, not to be fucking confused with that corrupt bastard who we had last night, Baltini. But this afternoon, Newcastle United got the 2-1 victory over Nottingham Forest to do the double over our host last night. It's a massive 3 points, of course it is. And as far as I'm concerned, everything is rosy in the Newcastle United garden. We are just behind Spurs with a game in hand. We win the game in hand. We go back into fourth. And this unlikeliest of unlikely charges towards the Champions League continues to roll on. And with games against Spurs and Manchester United coming up shortly, the future, our destiny is certainly very much in our hands. But that wasn't the agenda, that wasn't the objective last night of that referee, and I have to start there. Despite the fantastic result, there's some of the great football that we played, that corrupt little bastard who was refereeing last night, the same fucker who sent off Bruno, if you remember, yeah, the same one that Turkey Teeth Club had a massive issue and said that there was a problem between the two a year or so ago, I think it was. He was up to his normal fucking tricks again. Me no see. Oh no, me play. Oh no, me no take action. Me forgot fucking cards in bastard changing room alongside probably his Nottingham Forest shirt and his brown paper fucking bag. Oh my word, that first half, they were kicking fucking lumps. Now I know they are balls deep in a relegation battle, but fuck me, is he as thick as a bastard dictionary? That he can't apply the rules, that he can't protect the players, because some of the things that were happening on the pitch last night, there were yellow cards all day long. There should have been 5 or 6 dished out straight away for some shocking challenges. Yes, I credit the fact that they are scrapping to stay in the league, but honestly, it was just absolutely farcical at times. Newcastle United playing the football, playing the better football. However, we gift them the opening goal. You know, I thought we started the game really, really well, but Botman trying to play a ball back, it goes wrong, they score, their place comes unglued, and they had a 15-minute spell after that game where you're sort of pulling out what little hair I've got left. They come into it, but thankfully, you know, as the game goes on, despite the decisions were absolutely still. I was just sitting there fucking head scratching, just saying, what is the agenda? What is the problem? What is the fucking problem? Because it's not a one-off. It's not a one-off. It is every single time you are talking about the referees. And if you're talking about the referees, it's a bad referee. It's week in, week out, virtually all the time. And it's like there is some sort of agenda, there is some sort of remit out there to fuck us over. But, you know, thankfully, Isak, that Swedish bastard, and I think we're all a little bit Swedish today, you know, he scores the most unbelievable goal. It was sort of swaggerish, it was Zlatan-like, if you want to say that. Great ball come in, and Newcastle get the equaliser. This is after tickling the fucking post a few times, crossbar even beforehand. We should have been level before that easily. We should have been a fucking head, let's be honest. But, you know, it goes in. It goes in at 1-1, and you're sitting there thinking, you know, I think Eddie Howe is going to put a fucking, you know, a cat amongst the pigeons at half time. He's going to literally rile these up, because we were certainly missing. I felt Joe Linton's physicality, his presence, his athleticism in midfield. And I just thought that might have countered their tactics a little bit, to be honest. But second half comes, and we, of course, we make a substitution. It's, you know, you sat there, you're scratching your head. Is it tactical? Has he not been impressed enough with what St. Maximin has done? Because I felt he did undo some of the good work that he's done over the last few weeks. It turns out subsequently after the match that he was injured during the game. That's why he was moved more central, so he'd have to do less running to see whether he could get through and run it off. He couldn't, so he was taken off at half time. Elliot Anderson coming on, and Elliot Anderson, let me just say this, Elliot Anderson scored his first Newcastle United goal, his senior goal. It's as cut and dry as you like, but once again it comes back to that little bastard referee and his bunch of corrupt fuckers. And I tell you something, if you think the referee situation with brown paper bags and bribes and bank transfers and stuff is just contained at Barcelona and in Spain and in Italy and the likes, then you're naive as fuck, because it is going on all over the place. A perfectly good goal, fantastic build-up play, gets the ball in, Elliot Anderson, great header, beats the keeper, back of the net. Nothing wrong with that goal at all. Their player plays that ball. Even Gary Neville said after the match, and he's not Newcastle United's biggest supporter, and he wants us to fall flat in our arse because he wants Manchester United, of course, in the Champions League. But even he said there was nothing at all wrong with that goal. But he was looking for anything, any which way that he could chalk off that goal. The agenda continues. Like I say, it came off of a Forest player, so there is just there's no doubt about it. And he would deliberately try to get something on it to get the ball out. He played the ball, he fucked up, he misplaced the pass. That is on him again, similar to the handball at the end where it was on the Forest player. That was on him. The ball comes back in, the header is scored. It should have been a perfectly legitimate goal. VAR checking the club badge as normal and screwing us over yet a fucking game. And it's with that sense of injustice that the team, despite the bench looking depleted and devoid of options with a few players out injured, Miggy going to be missing for the next couple of weeks, that is a blow, no doubt about it. But we continue on, we keep working away, we keep probing, we keep trying, we keep, trying to find the winning combination, the winning formula. The away support, magnificent, I'll say that. And it comes right at the end, 91st minute, 92nd minute, or whatever it was, a clear handball. And finally, there was no way that they could fucking hide away from that decision. Let's just put it that way. Fucking hell. There's been some cover-ups over the last fucking couple of years, but I tell you what, this agenda are against us. Unfucking believable. Tried to stop our takeover going through and tried to stop us at every fucking avenue this season. But we weren't to be denied. As clear as night and day, handball. What that Forest player was thinking, fuck only knows. It was like some sort of glue sniffer, some sort of drug abuser, all of a sudden having some sort of a spaz attack. Some sort of fucking fit reaction to a drug. Because if I was a Forest fan, and I will say this for the Forest fans, if I was a Forest fan, I'd be absolutely furious with doing such a stupid thing right at the end. Because although we deserved, there's no doubt about it in my mind, we deserved 1,000,000% those 3 points. But if I was a Forest fan, you're literally balls deep in a relegation battle, and that stupid twat goes and does that and literally serves it up on a plate. Whether he felt he was a little bit embarrassed because of the refereeing performance and he had to try and even things up, I don't know. But either which way, I was glad that it was a penalty kick. I was glad that we would get the opportunity to take the 3 points. Up stepped Kieran Trippier. I'm sitting there thinking, yes, he's taken 1 or 2 penalties. This is a bit of a strange one. I'd like to see my strikers take the penalty kicks. Obviously, with the exceptions that you go historically, or the likes of Stuart Pearce. There's your Nottingham Forest connection. What a fucking play Psycho was. But Kieran Trippier steps up, a little bit of mind games, because obviously the Forest keeper is trying to go large, trying to act large, trying to put off, delay. You know what I mean? We get accused of the dark arts, yet it goes on against us all the time. But that parked to one side, Trippier with the ball, but then just as the penalty is about to be taken, up steps Isaac, who's just behind him. Geordie boy's taking the piss, like it, takes the ball on Trippier with that smile. That had already been predetermined, no issues, no problems there. Isaac puts the ball down, takes a step up, keeper goes the fucking wrong way and as cool as you like, smashes it into the back of the net. Newcastle United take a 2-1 lead. At this point we're on into the 93rd, 94th minute or something like that. 6 minutes of stoppage time had been allotted at this time. and it was just a case of seeing the game through, protecting, not doing anything daft, no stupid back passes at all, no stupid handballs for no reason whatsoever. And Newcastle United seen the game out, and we take the 3 points. Isaac jumps into the away end, the rest of the lads jump in with the away end, they're celebrating, the noise is fantastic, the scenes, the camera shots, great. And 3 points, and it's a massive 3 points, because I said before, and Jack said in his preview, Kyle said before in his preview, these were just much more than 3 points. It was a massive 3 points. It was a make or break 90 if you're thinking about Champions League and reigniting those dreams. We had to win the games in hand, and that is what we have done. The cup final, no doubt, has been a distraction over previous weeks and the like, but with that in the review mirror, Newcastle United have got down to business and have got the results when they have needed to get the results. Back-to-back victories, goals now for Isaac. He is now starting to do it on a regular basis. I think it's a goal every 110 minutes. He's only behind Hurling with regards to minutes to goals in the league this season, so that's some going. And you can understand anyhow when he spoke about the fact how much we've missed him when he has been injured. He is away with Sweden again now, so hopefully he doesn't return like he did previously, injured again, because that would be a fucking travesty. That would be gutting. Callum Wilson on the bench, but saved for another day. Not training at the moment, so it's probably the best result. Matt Ritchie came on, of course, as well. But let's just hope by the time the next game comes around, which is the revenge trip against Manchester United, it's a massive game. I can't wait for that at the beginning of April after the international game. We've got a few players back. You never know. Gordon may be back. Also, we might have Miggy back. But of course, we'll have Big Joe Linton as well. He will be backing into the fold as well. Let's just hope that is the case. That is the situation as well. But for now, the table looks so much better, and again, it is firmly in Newcastle United's hands. If we can go and get positive results against Spurs and Manchester United, who we've got to play at our place, great. If we can get the victory for our game in hand, fantastic. We will most likely finish in that 4th place. And if you'd have said that last season, people would have fucking laughed at you. If not, they would have locked you up, thrown a fucking white jacket on you, and hide you in the back of a fucking lorry. You'd have been literally ridiculed if you'd have thought that a year ago. So no matter where we finish, what European competition, and I am firmly of the belief we will finish in a European place this season. It's been a magnificent season, and we could top that off with, like I say, one of the most unlikeliest charges to the Champions League places that you will ever see. We, of course, have got no European distractions, no cup competition distractions, which the likes of Manchester United, do have. So that perhaps could be another advantage for Newcastle if they're playing extra games, maybe picking up extra injuries, more fatigue. Players, not being able to train and focus as much on tactics, having to watch on multiple opponents and all that, could play into our hands when it comes down to the shakedown at the end of the season. But as for now, the players who aren't going away on international duty will travel over to Dubai, where we obviously were this time last year, to do some warm weather training, with the idea that we can go on another fantastic one, as we did again this time last year, towards the end of the season, and really tackle this final run of games and just see how high that we can finish in this Premier League table. Will we go and upset the apple cart, upset the cartel, upset the greedy 6, and take one of those Champions League places? And perhaps in doing so, you push forward the development, the business plan that our new ownership group had. You push it forward by probably a couple of years, because realistically they wouldn't have thought we could have got into a Champions League berth within the first 2 to 3 seasons. Certainly they were probably looking at season 4, season 5 before getting into the Champions League. If we can do it already, that puts us massively ahead of schedule and can push the club onwards and upwards also quicker. Fantastic. And it'll be an exciting summer. There's quite a few players out of contract. there's going to be some major rebuilding done, and of course the squad is going to need to be padded out. That's the first team and the youth team as well will need padding out, so it will be an exciting adventure. It will be exciting times for the club, and who knows, we could be going to Europeans Elite next season. Everything crossed, fingers crossed. But I tell you something, if they show the fucking nuts that were on display last night, the steel, the intestinal fortitude to keep going at that result, despite that fucking corrupt referee in the middle of that park last night, despite VR's best attempts, then anything is achievable, anything is manageable. Yes, we've got one or two of the big boys to play, but we've also played, I think, all of them barring one away from home, and I just think with Eddie Howe and our coaching team and these lads, anything is possible. You know, anything at all is possible. They do not know when to take no for an answer, and yeah, just look at that table this morning and smile, because Paul Tini could not fuck us over despite his best efforts. And he's probably getting his fucking Spanish passport out as we fucking speak. Honestly, I do not want to see him again. I do not want to see him again this season. Absolutely disgusting, that. Absolutely disgusting. And it's about time, and I think it was Peter Ramage who's come out today on social media and said, look, win, lose or draw, the players, the managers have to come out and face the music, and they have to face the consequences of the decisions that they have made on that park, on that pitch, over 90 minutes. Why the fuck do the referees get to run off to the dressing room, take his Nottingham Forest shirt and fuck off home with whatever? How is that a thing in the modern age? If the teams, if the players have to come out and talk, then the referees should have to, and they should have to justify their decisions that they made, explain their thought process for that game. There's no doubt about it. This needs to be done, and it needs to be done sooner rather than later. And VAR, either get the fucking thing right or switch the fucking thing off, as far as I'm concerned. I'm all for technology helping referees, because, to be honest, they can't see the end of the fucking nose. Referees have got worse since they become professional. They used to be better when they were semi-pro. Seriously, they were better back in the fucking late 90s and early 90s. They were better then than they are now. And that's a fact. They got more things right. They could just see the obvious. They didn't have the agenda as much. Yes, there was agendas. Yes, there was fucking egos. I'm straight away thinking of likes of fucking Rennie and the likes. Of course there was the egos, but the egos are inflated now. The referees are determined, hell-bent on getting on the fucking TV cameras at all costs and making it about themselves. Well, your fucking plan backfired last night, Paul Bastard Tini. Honestly, thick as a fucking dictionary, that lad. Couldn't even apply the rules right. And how many times have we been in situations where you can sit there and look at the back of the game and think, the rules, the fucking rules, the things that they should know inside and outside, have not been applied correctly in this instance yet fucking again. These referees during the week, when they are fucking getting paid to do naff all, need to get the referee's handbook out, and they need to, actually, I don't know, maybe brush up on the rules that they're supposed to be applying to the game of football that they're refereeing at a weekend or whatever. That might just be a strange alien concept to these absolute fucking galahs. Oh my word. But look, end of the day, Eddie Howe was pleased, the lads were pleased, they were beaming the after-match, the post-match interviews. The team spirit is certainly dead alive. The players, Kieran Trippier saying, look, I'm not going to be ashamed to talk about Champions League and the fact that we are trying to go for it, and it is absolutely fantastic to see. I fucking absolutely loved it. I'm just so glad, for whatever reason, that Forest player stuck up his fucking hand. The penalty kick was finally awarded, and of course we get the points. That is literally all that matters at this stage, at the business stage of the season. It's all about just getting the 3 points. Something that Sunderland know fuck all about as well. I'll just add that one in. As they fluff their fucking lines in the Championship. Oh my word, happy days. Newcastle United are heading up. And Sunderland, well, looks like they'll have another crack at the likes of Rotherham and stuff next season, eh? Anyway, just relieved at the result. Relieved we've done the double over Nottingham Forest. And yeah, just over the moon. The dream is continuing on. It would be absolutely fantastic, and it would be a great reward at the end of what has already been a fantastic season, despite the best efforts of fucking Dick Master and everybody at the FA, the PGM, MOL. Yeah, they're not going to fucking rain on our parade, that's for certain. But yeah, let's hope we get a few decisions next time out against Manchester United. There is England. In the meantime, it's sort of yeah, it's happening. It's a distraction. I'd much rather than the Newcastle United games. We're just still coming thick and fast, to be honest. Watching a bunch of players who aren't even getting game time at the clubs half the time. We'll see how it goes. We'll get some England stuff up, you know, during the break. The content will still be coming on the YouTube channel and across the rest of Magpie 24/7. Over 100,000 people following Magpie 24/7 now, so I appreciate that support. If you are one of the ones that have subscribed, click like, click follow, fantastic. If not, please do it. It helps us out massively. It really, really does. And that is it. So I think it's at the end. Nottingham Forest 1. Newcastle United 2. Speedy recovery, Miggy. We're all going to be singing a little bit of Abbott today. Gimme, gimme, gimme. A striker from Sweden. 3 points, 2 goals, and all those thousands of happy Newcastle United fans heading back to Tyneside. Yeah, absolutely delighted with the result, if not the performance of the shameful bunch of referees and VAR lot from yesterday evening. So in the meantime, take care. Keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.